Alright, hey guys, and welcome to the Scrub Club Invitational number 1. We're now in the 4th round of the losers bracket, and in this best of 3 we've got Phonic taking on Iskar Jarak. So guys, what we'll do is we'll jump straight into the game, and then we'll just give a brief overview of how these players came to be in the positions that they are at this moment. So, in the, let's call it the 9 o'clock position, we have our light blue Terran Iskar Jarak, and then in the exact 6 o'clock position of this map, which is GSTL Metalopolis or Metropolis, one of the two, probably not I don't know which one sounds better or which one is correct, doesn't matter. We'll make sure game sounds is on. There we go, fantastic. So, so in the 6 o'clock position of this map, we have our green Terran, green Protoss Phonic, who has gone for the nice nice early, not early, what am I trying to say? The nice placement of the pylon at there, but not at the ramp, so he's possibly looking for some kind of fast expand maneuver, I would be guessing. So, and as I was saying, in the 9 o'clock position, we have Iskar Jarak electing to scout with his first SCV and then build the barracks with his second. So both these players were knocked out in the first game that they did play in the winners bracket. Iskar being knocked out considerably earlier and having to slog his way through a lot more games to get where he is now. I believe that this is his actual, I'll just check this for you guys. Iskar, this is his 5th game, and he, as of yet, has not had a walkover like some of the other players, and this is Phonic's 4th game of the tournament. Now, let me do a bit of calculation on the wins and losses. So, let's see, Alright, so at this point, Iskar is 7-1 in the tournament. That includes the 2-1 loss that he took in the first round of the winners bracket, and then he's 2-0'd every opponent since. But then, hang on, my maths is not up there. Sorry, he is 6-1. 6-1, that's the correct score. I should be 6-2, sorry, because he lost the first game. What a shambles this is already. So 6-2 for Iskar Jarak on his way here. That includes a 2-1 loss, and then 2-0, 2-0 victories, and then a 1-0 victory with Syndicate having to drop out in that last game. Phonic, on the other hand, has had pretty much similar, but has only had to play, this is his 2nd game of the tournament, as he's had 2 walkovers before now. So his score is 3-2 at the moment, which is a little less impressive than Iskar, but that's only just because he's had those extra walkovers. So what we're seeing in the main base of Phonic is we're seeing 3 gates and 1 cyber, and they should roughly finish up at around the same time. The cyber slightly earlier, with a nice placement of the pylon, and the cyber just sitting back a bit so it can't be easily picked off from the front, but he'll need to be careful in the late game when forces come down with medevacs and try to pick those off. So Iskar going for some 2 racks play at the moment, or 2 barracks at least, and adding on a 3rd on top of that. Staying on top of his SCV production and keeping that energy nice and low. Looks like we've got Warp Gate coming down as well, and that should be getting Chrono boosted out as soon as he hits 25 energy, or roughly about that much. And 3, maybe 2, or maybe he's planning to save the Chrono for something else. Nope, there we go, straight on there, so good stuff there. So we'll be seeing a fast warp gate out of Phonic. So we jump over into the income tab, we see that Phonic is slightly ahead in harvesters, but dem mules, just racking in the minerals. 240 extra minerals every time you cool down a mule, as long as they're mining. And it doesn't matter about gold bases because they nerfed that in the patch, one of the patches anyway. So fast Templar archives coming out of Phonic now, and some pretty good pylon placement here as he realises his opponent is there, so he needs to be alert to any drops that are coming. So a fairly heavy Marine force here. Now what we're seeing out of Iskar is a different strategy to that he's adopted in previous games, where he's gone for that +1 stim timing kind of a thing. Still yet to start stim, so I'm not sure if he's phased or if he's trying to do something a little bit tricky, but we'll be seeing. So he's throwing down the command center now, and we're just going to have to wait and see what he is planning to do. Alright, so throwing down a forward bunker just to get a bit of defense. And, a fast storm sonic storm research coming out from Phonic. Doing the bare minimum he has to with units in order just to kind of bolster his defense in case of any attack. And just expanding to get that extra gas for when he needs to use storm. With the bio-heavy composition that Iskar's got at the moment, storm might be a good choice, actually. Taking his first factory now and rallying his units to that forward bunker. Fairly good job by both players not getting heavily supply blocked or supply blocked in a way that would make you cringe. And we've got charge lot legs coming out. So what we might be seeing is a game similar to the one that Federator played against Iskar in the early stages of the tournament, but instead of going for Stalkers, Phonic seems to be going for Storm, which might be a bit more of a cost-efficient trade if he can land some really sick Storms. So pretty good transfer over of probes, and there we go. So that's a pretty good job at trying to get that second base saturated and re-saturating his first as well. So both players staying really low on money. Phonic obviously trying to build up a bit of a bank with those gas geysers, as those High Templar do cost quite a bit of money. Now the research for Iskar shows that he's about to have 1-1 in about, let's say, 80 seconds, and Stim is also about to finish, and so is Siege mode for his Siege tanks. So he's going to be in a very good position to do an early push. And we'll just have to see how Phonic can retaliate and if he can hit those vital storms. This might be the first game as well of Phonic's that I have a look at his hotkey setup, like I do with most of the rest of them. We can obviously see that his probe number 1 is in one of the gas geysers, but we see that he has all of his Nexus on 2, his warp gates on 5, and then his main army on 2. And then I'm sure if he was doing drops or some sort of play like that. Oh, and Iskar does see the... Oh, what are you doing? Is he going to use a storm? Is he going to burn a storm on it? Oh, I'm not sure about that. How much energy does a storm take? Storm takes... So he's going to wait here, build up a bit more energy, and then push in and try and attack it, looks like. So Iskar taking a third base fairly quickly. And we'll just have a look at his production structures. So he's got 3 racks, 1 factory, and a second on the way. And a starport as well. So he could probably even afford to throw down another starport because he is going bio, just to get those reacted medevacs on the way. Now, just pure Zealot, Archon, or High Templar, not Archon, jeez. Ooh, a wolf statue. And the 1-ups on the way here from Phonic, adding that extra gateway. So if we look at the army supplies, we see that Phonic is actually ahead in both examples of supply, worker and army, as he adds on another 4 gates to get that lead. We'll have a look at the income tab. We see it's fairly even, with mules making the main difference every now and again. So that third base finishing up for Iskar now. So over time, as long as he doesn't get absolutely decimated by this attack, which is quite scary with all these near full energy Templar, he should be able to pull out the macro advantage as he's chucking down another orbital command and doing that nice transfer of SCVs as we're getting accustomed to. So throwing down a couple of cannons to defend against drops, which might be Iskar's only real method of slowing down Phonic at this moment. But yeah, this could be quite dicey for him, as this force is getting quite out of control, and he needs to kind of push up and force a couple of wasted storms or some feedbacks on the medevacs. I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. Really even at the moment, and here we go. So Phonic pulling down now and adding another couple of High Templar to the mix, but he should probably wait until they get enough energy to be doing the storm, which will be fairly soon, destroying that poor statue. I believe that was a wolf one as well. So alright, so he's very close. So most of these at least have one storm in them, and he's placing that forward pylon very nicely. So we'll go over and have a look at the vision of Iskar. So he doesn't know that this second base has been taken, but I'm assuming he can tell because of the cannons there. He doesn't know about these cannons that are going to stop any drops, but he does know about the Templar archives. And here comes the final warp in now. And I wonder if Phonic will wait for these to get up in storm energy as well. So we'll have a look at the army supplies now, and Iskar has taken the worker supply lead, but it'll all come down to how good these storms are, and he loads up into medevacs. He might not want to be doing that now, as here comes the engagement. Really unfortunate timing there by Iskar. Ooh, 6 storm just to block off, but he'll need to defend like crazy, and pretty good storms in the bottleneck. All those Marines dying. Those are 6 storms, holy crap. And the feedbacks as well. Take a hat. Oh, I take my hat off to you, sir. One more storm would end this. Oh, and there goes all those really, really nice storms, even on the tanks as well. See you later. And the Archon just to top it off as well. This tank's not even getting a shot in, and that looks like it's going to be game there. Really nice storms. There's the GG from Iskar. That's really good. Whoa. I was not expecting such good storms. And the extra High Templar there just to maybe throw down a storm or something. But Iskar leaves the game, and that is the end of game 1 between these guys. Come back for game 2. Man, that's one of the highlights of the tournament so far. That was really, really good. And if Iskar had maybe left with that drop a couple of seconds earlier, it might have made Phonic think twice about engaging, and he may have pulled back to his own base to try and defend. But as I was saying, guys, come back for game 2, and we'll see how this one ends, and if it'll go to that tiebreaker, or if Phonic can take this 2-0.